there's the finished fly. Just a simple woolly bugger, but tied with all the feathers from my birds. I've got one rooster and a bunch of hens. So as you may all know, I have chickens. And while I'm checking for eggs, I come in and I a lot of times see feathers. Now these are like chickaboo feathers. A lot of times they're in this area here. And then I get the longer feathers out in their run, which is kind of nice. So now I'm collecting them for tying flies. And we'll go ahead and start making a fly. I think I've got enough feathers to be able to make something. Oh, welcome back McFly subscribers. So today I'm going to be tying a fly on my own chicken's feathers. And I'm just going to start by putting the hook in the vise and then putting, oh boy, I didn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. 7, 8, 20. I'm going to put 20 total wraps of lead to be able to get this down. It is going to be quite a large woolly bugger. So the hook I'm using today is Risen's Streamer 300 hook, and it's a size 4. And these are super long shank. I wrapped with 0.015 size lead wire, and the thread I'm using is Vivus 6/0 in black. So I'm going to do a black, like a grizzly sort of woolly bugger. Alright, so I'm going to put the lead slightly up, as you can see, and that's going to allow it to sink properly. And by the way, excuse my voice here. The family's battling a cold. Alright, so we're going to come down into the bend of the hook and then back up. I just thought this would be a cool idea to be able to utilize the feathers that my own chickens are producing. Next, I've got quite a few, actually 3. I've got 3 basically chickaboo feathers. They come from the back end of the chicken and they're nice and soft. It's the same thing as marabou, only marabou comes from a turkey. Chickaboo is from a chicken. There we go. I'm putting 3 together. I'm going to wet this. And the tail, I don't need a long tail. I don't really want it super long. But we're going to wrap that in with a couple wraps. And then I'm going to hold the feathers like this. And we're going to build a taper. So that way we kind of remove that bump almost. We're going to come right up to just shy of that lead bump. Take some scissors. Cut everything off right up against that lead bump. And we're going to clean all this up. Next, I want a little flash, but I don't want the crystal flash. It gets a little bulky back there. So I'm just going to use Flashaboo. And this is the Mirage Flashaboo. You can use pearl, anything you want really. Alright, so I pulled 3 strands and cut them off so the tips are aligned. And I wet them so it's easier to tie in. And I'm just wrapping right on the side here. Get one more wrap. And then most of you have tied woolly buggers before, you get it, you know what to do. I'm going to come on the other side there. We're going to cut this off at about the same length. And you can make this flash longer or shorter, whatever you want. Next, I've got this rayon chenille, and I'm going to cut, since this is a long shank, I'm going to cut quite a bit off here. Probably won't use it all, but I'm going to have this extend up to just shy of the hook eye. Like so. We'll tie it in right at the back here. And then work it up, keeping it right on top of the hook shank, best that we can. You can see I left a little space up by the head. And then we're going to come back down. By the way, you can see I clipped that so that way it's not in my way for the next steps. Next, I need some wire, and I've got brassy sized silver wire. And you could actually tie the wire in first. It's up to you, however you want to do it. And again, we're just going to have that wire extend up right on the side or top of the fly. And watch up at the tip, you can break your wire off. And then for a little durability, I'm just going to wipe a little super glue along the shank here. Going to do a ton, but it'll help. Then we just grab the chenille, and we're gonna make tight touching wraps up the hook shank, like you do with any woolly bugger. I'm gonna capture it up at the head, and as you can see, I left myself a little room at the head. You don't want to crowd that head. The next steps will be more difficult. So next I found this feather outside. It comes from my rooster, and it's almost like a schlappen feather. I just pulled off the fuzzies at the bottom. Alright, so I'm just going to tie this in like so, there, with one wrap, and then I'm going to X-wrap it. Kind of turned on me. There we go. X-wrap it, and then we'll do one more X-wrap over it, like so. Then I can pull back that stem a little and wrap back up on it, and that's gonna really lock that into place. We'll cut this off close, and then and there's my rooster in the background, so you must know I'm using his feathers. And then we're just gonna make 2 wraps up by the head, and then I'm just gonna open spiral wrap rearward. And this is almost a soft hackle. It's not like a stiff woolly bugger, and I like having the extra length of this fiber. The rooster's excited. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the wire once I reach the back here, and then we'll capture that, and we can let go of the feather. I'm just gonna work this through the hackle up, open spiral wrapping it, and I'm wiggling this wire a little to ensure that it doesn't trap as many fibers, and that'll help a little. There we go, reach the head, and try not to trap any of the hackle fibers, and then I come up under with the thread and capture it right at the head here, and I can pull everything rearward, wrap over it a couple times, and then I'm going to bring the thread under once again, under that wire, like so. Pull the wire back, pull everything back, and then make a couple wraps once again. And then I'm going to hold everything close, and we'll helicopter the wire off. I always forget this, so I'm going to do it now. Cut that extra feather off, and then I'm just going to whip finish the fly. Four-turn whip finish is good enough because we're going to cement the head. But before we do, take a stiff toothbrush or a wire brush or something. We're just going to brush this out. We'll make sure that any of these trap fibers are pulled out. Now we're going to cement the head. I've got this Solarez Bone Dry or Ultra Thin. It's got a couple names. So it comes with a handy paintbrush. We'll just use that to cement the head. Grab my UV light. Hit it at all angles. You know what, I'm going to do a second coating. It came out kind of thin. I want to make like a nice shiny little head to it. And there we go. There's a finished fly. Just a simple woolly bugger, but tied with all the feathers from my birds. I've got one rooster and a bunch of hens. And so of course these feathers here came from the hen, and then this came from the rooster. Now the hens also produce some hackle that I could use for the body, but definitely the rooster doesn't produce these. These are feathers basically that the hens use to keep the eggs warm when they sit on them. So it's a tuft out the back of their rear basically, and it creates insulation. It's nice fuzzy fibers, so it creates insulation to be able to keep those eggs warm. But that's where this comes from. That's basically marabou. And other than the hook, of course the thread, and then the chenille, of course, for the body. This is all entirely from my chickens, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited to fish it and see how it goes. Stay tuned, guys. I'm definitely going to try to fish this on camera for you guys in the next couple weeks. Hopefully I can get out and catch something on it. I think it'll definitely catch. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Did I utilize the feathers properly? And what else would you tie with the feathers from my birds? I've got quite a few different types of feathers that come from them, but I'm not killing my birds, so these are just what I gather in the run. So I am limited on what I am gathering. Got wing feathers, I got, a whole bunch of stuff, but hope you guys enjoyed. It was kind of a fun little project. See if I could tie a fly with the feathers from my own chickens. I'm pretty happy with it. If you haven't already, please check out my sponsor, Roost. They're the ones that made the hooks today that I used. That's these right here. This is their old packet, by the way. I've had this for a long time. But they're great hooks. They make great hooks. They make rods and reels and pretty much anything you could need to fly fish. Their prices are absolutely some of the best out there, especially for the quality. I mean, you can definitely get some stuff a little less expensive, but you're going to be way low on quality. These are just as good. Everything that they sell is just as good, if not better, than a lot of name brand rods and reels and hooks and everything. For instance, I was going to tie with these, but it's a nymph hook. It's a little smaller than I wanted, but these are awesome. Their barbless nymph hooks are just absolutely phenomenal. So definitely check them out. And the best thing is, not only are their prices really good, but they're offering you guys all a discount. So type in McFly at checkout when you go to www.risenfly.com. And you'll get 15% off of your first order with them, no matter what you get. So you can add rods and reels and save yourself a ton of money with that discount code. They've got even a rod that is only $119, and after the discount, it's right around $100, and it is a really good rod. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and hit that bell notification for future video updates. Also, if you could hit the like button, it would really help me and the channel out. And I will see you on the next video. Now you go catch some fish.